Remember when Martin Freeman played Tim on The Office and we all cried at the Christmas special when he and Dawn finally got together? Wasn't it wonderful? Remember when Jim Halpert shouted down the phone at his wife Pam and made her cry when she accidentally didn't record their daughter's dance recital that he couldn't go to because he was in Philadelphia working at the company that he had invested in behind his wife's back? Wasn't it terrible? While some things on The Office may have held up well over time, rewatching now, you may be surprised what a jerk Jim can sometimes be. But just to be clear, we hold nothing against actor-director John Krasinski, who seems like a very nice man. Let us enter the court of public opinion and present the reasons why Jim Halpert actually kinda sucks. The evidence. Jim doesn't treat women well. Jim and Pam are meant to be. We get it. He pined for her, he kissed her while she was engaged to someone else. He strung along several other women, including the too good for him Karen Filippelli, played by Rashida Jones, and Amy Adams Katie, who he looked upon with total scorn, and then finally won Pam.
Are you free for dinner tonight?
Yes.
Let's take a minute to talk about Jim's crimes against Karen. He encouraged her to move to Scranton, knowing full well he was in love with someone else and that Karen had feelings for him.
If they offer you a job there, I think you should take it.
Okay, yeah, maybe I will.
Then when Karen gets to Scranton, everyone at the Scranton branch knows that Jim is in love with Pam, making a super fun working environment for her. She's then made out to be awful for attempting to live near him. Not with him, near him. And for making poor old Jim stay up to try to talk through their problems.
I cried for weeks over that guy, so yeah.
Justice for Karen. Part 2. Jim doesn't think his wife's opinion matters. You'll recall Jim buying his parents' house without telling Pam. It sounds romantic, but is it? How many of you would really want to live in your partner's parents' former home? Pam could never tell him if she hated the house. It's literally his childhood home, and he'd already bought it. Of course Pam acted all swoony, but what other choice was there, really? She probably wanted to go full-on Extreme Makeover Home Edition on Casa Halpert. Then, in a move that was not romantic in the slightest, Jim invested $10,000 of their savings in a company that is not even based where he lives with his family, without telling Pam. The fallout of him making this decision is massive, and Pam is left to look after their 2 children while Jim gallivants about at his stupidly named company, Athlete or Athlete. Doesn't matter, they're both terrible. Thank goodness she has lovely sound man Brian as a shoulder to cry on, because Jim's shoulders are in Philadelphia. Then to top it all off, at the panel in the finale, loads of idiotic women start digging at Pam.
Everyone watching sees how much you love each other and how you're soulmates. So Pam, how could you doubt that when Jim moved to Philadelphia?
The treatment of Jim as some sort of demigod for choosing his wife and children over his career are rage-inducing. Of course you should choose your wife and children. See also, Jim Halpert making a mockery of the Finer Things Club. Unforgivable. Part 3. Jim is a bully and a terrible coworker. No one would make the claim Ed Helms' Andy is a colleague they really want to be around, but Jim really revels in his dislike for him. Hilarious prankster Jim pushes an already volatile man over the edge and sends him to anger management by hiding his phone in the ceiling. But apparently that's hilarious. Any consequences for the bastard's childish antics? Absolutely not. Not to mention when Andy returns and respectfully asks Jim to call him by his reasonable nickname Drew, Jim straight up says,
No, I'm not gonna call you that.
rude. We could go on and on as to why Dwight is actually a bully and a bad coworker, but today, this is about Jim. Dwight and Jim are willing adversaries throughout the office, but if Jim isn't starting it, he's escalating it. A good prank has both parties laughing afterwards. Many of these quote-unquote pranks are more akin to bullying. Pam holds some of the blame here too, such as the time they made Dwight think he has an ear condition called pretendinitis by making high-pitched noises. Some are downright dangerous.
Counter it.
By communicating with Pam in Morse code, they tricked Dwight into thinking there was a bomb in the office, which, given their knowledge of how a man like Dwight reacts, could have had serious consequences. And no 5-star review of Schrute Farms is going to fix the blunt force trauma from Jim's car seat. Just because Dwight is sometimes asking for it, doesn't make it right. See also Ryan. Yes, it's Ryan, but Jim's superiority complex over Ryan harks back to the temp days. Additionally, letting Michael fall into a koi pond. The verdict: overrated and kind of awful. Do you agree that Jim Halpert is not the golden boy many seem to think he is? Do his flaws actually make him a more believable character? Is that good for the narrative? Were we a little too hard on him? Who perhaps is a better character? Or worse? Read a longer version of the story on denofgeek.com.